I don't understand this this thing about it's getting warmer or whatever.
I think it's actually colder than it was 3 summers ago.
Well, I definitely believe climate change is real.
We have a responsibility to try to remedy that if we can.
I personally started down this journey years ago. I started uninformed. I spent time with experts, scientists, etc., to really understand what's happening within our larger climate environment.
There are two dimensions of climate solutions. One is what people voluntarily need to do to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions.
The less power they use, the less power that has to be generated, and therefore the less coal that has to be burned.
It's at least equally important, though, to be thinking about policies that make it easy for all of us to reduce emissions without thinking about it.
We need automation, and that's where the smart grid comes in. It automates efficiency. And so all we have to do is say, yes, we want this, and it comes in and does it for us.
The enlightened utilities have got the message and are now working pretty cooperatively with the enlightened environmental groups who understand that costs matter, though they're not everything.
I want my utility to be as responsible as other people are expected to be. I want them to educate, I want them to do research, I want them to change things.
They understand the problem. They realize that the service they're providing to society with electricity has side effects.
If we're going to reach the carbon targets that we've promised society, we're going to have to act and start acting now.
What is it that the policy or the utility and the community can do together?
We have to transition to those technologies and organizations and habits, lifestyles that we can sustain over a period of time.
What is it we can do together, all of us, from an action standpoint to fundamentally reduce demand?
We shut off our lights when we remember.
We unplug our appliances when we're not using them.
Always worrying about the kids leaving the windows open, leaving the lights on. It's just a non-stop battle.
They want to do their part. They want to cut back on usage, particularly usage that is not essential. They want to help solve the problem.
When people start making changes in their daily lives, changing light bulbs, reducing the amount of travel that they do in their car, they start to feel that they're part of a movement, and they start then to become more aware.
Consumers would be all for it if they could see that it actually works.
And then they are more likely to start to participate in supporting policy level changes.
Right now, we've got pretty much a one-way relationship with our customers. The electricity flows one way. As we get more and more renewables plugged into our networks, coming from our customers, the grid's going to have to be much more dynamic in nature. We're going to have two-way flows.
With the smart grid, you have so much more intelligence on how your electrical system is operating.
So there's two ways that this power can be utilized. If this building needs it, it can be consumed all in-house to power the air conditioning unit that you're hearing and the lights and the computers downstairs. Another approach is to feed this power back into the distribution grid.
The power will go back directly into the grid so that all of the community will have an opportunity to take the advantages of sunlight turned into electricity.
Hi, National Grid. The most interesting part for me is something we call the customer experience, and really looking at how we can deploy this new technology and these new services in a way that provides customers a totally new way of interacting with the utility.
If there was something tangible that we could actually see instead of kind of just this information out there, then I think we're more likely to use power in our house more efficiently too.
We can dictate at what time we want a certain appliance on, at what time we don't need that power on.
The customers will be provided information on how much power they've used. when they have used it and how much it has cost them.
Some customers would want to have web access details. Some customers want information on their PDA or mobile phones or a home display device.
The utility gets the value of now being able to communicate and provide new services to those customers.
It's the most cost-effective way to get consumers to use less energy, thus allowing us to apply our precious resources and funding towards clean renewable generation and upgrading our aging infrastructure.
The reality of it all is that there's no silver bullet. We should really be supporting deployment, research, and development of significant, broad array of technologies around renewables.
Like electric cars, plug-in hybrids, devices that use the wind, that use the sun. And we need to connect them to a smart grid that helps to control demand and the time of day. It can be done. It's technically feasible.
Climate change is a problem. It's not going to go away, and we have to start figuring out how we're going to cope with it.
At the end of the day, this is really about helping customers with the right technology and the right tools to help manage their energy needs, help give them the ability to reduce their carbon footprint, and give them the ability to help reduce their bills.